Hey there, seekers of spiritual, tangible results.
Welcome to the no-nonsense zone, where common sense meets the spiritual. I'm Jason Parks.
I'm Emma Romano, your unapologetically real spiritual guides.
We don't sugarcoat, we don't dance around the woo-woo, we just deliver the raw, kick-ass truth.
Join us each episode as we dive deep into the mystical, cut through the bullshit, and show you how to manifest the tangible results you've been craving for.
No fluff, no filters, just two mentors on a mission to elevate your mind, body and soul.
Get ready to transform your life like never before. This is Soul Aligned Results, where spirituality meets the real world. Welcome everybody, this is Emma Romano and the amazing
Jason Parks.
I want to talk about mashed potatoes.
Fair enough.
Now, Jason's like, before we start, I said, I just want to talk about mashed potatoes, but I don't want to explain mashed potatoes. I just want to talk about it. He's like, go, just press record. So I'm pressing record. So I want to tell you a little story. Today, I have been doing a lot of presenting on big groups lately, right? And we've been talking about how trauma can really mar your present experiences. So what I mean by that is things that have happened in our past, we are acting, treating, believing that they're still happening right now. So if somebody upset me 20 years ago, say it's a girl at school and I was bullied at school, and she upset me 20 years ago, I might now still have or play the game as though all women are still treating me like this, or they're going to if I let them, right? Yeah. So someone wasn't quite getting it, and I freaking love it when people don't understand what I say, because it gives me the space to be really creative and then find an analogy or find a way to explain something really easily. I think I nailed it. So for you listeners out there, I want you to let me know if you get it or not, or if I've nailed it or not. Pretend your trauma is mashed potatoes, right? I know. Now, I'm going to let everyone know I freaking love mashed potatoes. So this is not going to upset you mashed potato dreams. Don't hate me on this one, right? Because I love mashed potato. But just pretend your trauma is mashed potato. Now, something traumatic does not mean trauma. They're two different things. Trauma simply means I feel powerless to something. So we are in victim mentality of something. I really hate the word victim. Victim means that it's I can't change. I have to wait for something else to change. Now, no matter what we do, we cannot change our past. We can't. God can't even change the past. But what we can do is we can learn by our past. So pretend your trauma is mashed potato. Now, I don't know about you, but I would probably only eat yesterday's mashed potato. I don't think I would eat a week's old mashed potato. And I definitely wouldn't eat a month's worth of mashed potato. And I most definitely would not eat mashed potato from a year ago. So if our trauma is mashed potato, why are we still playing mashed potato? In mashed potato, we're holding it, we're eating it, we're working with it. Why are we still making decisions as though we're eating mashed potato from 10 years ago? Even 20 years ago. For me, I'm 53. This could be 50-year-old mashed potato.
Yeah.
But then what about if we got our mashed potato? And I know some of you got to say, we could just throw it in the bin. But if we throw it in the bin, what if we're losing the opportunity of allowing our mashed potato to evolve into something awesome for us? So what if we threw our mashed potato on the compost heap? You know, the compost heaps there with all, you know, the potato peel and the tea leaves and the coffee leaves, coffee grains, I mean. And, you know, it's got the carrot peel there and we've got the worms, compost heap, right? And what does a compost heap do? It holds the foundations for something beautiful to grow. So what if we scraped our mashed potato? We got our old gross plate with our old moldy mashed potato from a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever it might be. And we scrape it off and we put it in this compost pile. And then we threw some extra other compost on top of it and the worms are going through it. And we just left it there, knowing innately that something beautiful is going to grow from it, not knowing what it is, not pushing it, not trying to make it grow any faster, but just cultivating it and leaving it alone, like compost. You don't water that shit, right? You don't, and nothing happens. You just leave it, you let the worms do it, and you let all the you just let Mother Earth nurture it, and we just leave it. What if we went back 3 months later, picked up that soil, and it has the soil, you know, from whatever the mashed potato, the old trauma, and it's been cultivated. I wonder what could then grow from it. And then whatever grows from it, like it could be a daisy bush or a tree or a vineyard. It could be anything you want. I wonder how differently our lives would look if we stopped eating moldy mashed potato and started looking at it differently. And looking at ourselves, looking at life differently from what the mashed potato can grow for us. That's my mashed potato story.
That's your mashed potato story. Look, it's a great one, because the thing that really stands out with that is that we have such a preconceived idea about the meaning of things. And that's where we get caught up in, well, that's how you get trauma in the first place, is that something happens to you that's awful, but you then give it a meaning that internalizes it and holds it in your nervous system.
And the word that you've just nailed on is hold.
Yeah.
When we hold something, it can't change.
Yeah.
And this world, this universe, us, we are an ever evolving and changing mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, this is another thing, right? Pretend that I said that my blood was my trauma and I went, blood, stop moving.
Yeah.
How long do you think I would live for? I mean, I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't know. Hopefully there's a doctor out there and go 1.337 seconds, right? Or whatever it might be. But we really want to change, but we hold our trauma like it's old freaking mashed potato and we keep fucking eating the mashed potato.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an interesting one. I'm going through this process at the moment. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
That it's been a little while now, but you and I went to Bali, did a retreat there, which was wonderful, what I can remember of it. And
I'll remind you, we ran a glorious, amazing retreat for 12 incredible people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say what I can remember of it because what happened is pretty much on the last day that I was there, I got bitten by one mosquito, and from that I got a severe case of dengue fever.
Yeah.
And that hammered me. So I've had neurological issues, I've had physiological issues. And one of the things that's interesting is that I don't really have a proper memory. I have a memory of me getting to Bali, like going to the airport, and I don't really have a memory for the next 6 weeks. It's just fragments of things. So
that's crazy.
it's weird. So yeah, but what's been interesting is in the process of healing this, what's come up, because I had a big breakthrough this week on Thursday, really, because I got to the spiritual root of the illness. And for genuine healing to happen, we have to be able to take, first of all, we have to take the idea of healing as not being getting back to where I was, but in moving forward to where I want to be. So genuine healing is me being the version of myself that is growing and evolving. It's not me without a problem, without this thing. So for genuine healing to occur, you have to go through, yes, you have to treat physiological issues. Yes, you have to treat all aspects of it, because if you have and trauma is no different, because exactly the same, the physical health, mental health, they're all interrelated. Your energetic health, the health of your soul, they're all interrelated. So if you only work on one aspect of it, said all the others are still going to be there, and they'll keep manifesting different things in your life to keep bringing it about. So so what's been really interesting when I got to the bottom of it, and I found that unsurprisingly there's a soul issue there, and
Mm-hmm.
that soul issue has been my old plate of mashed potatoes that I have been playing since 1994. I've been eating those mashed potatoes since 1994.
Your
So a
mashed
few different,
potatoes are nasty, mate. That
they
is
are
old,
nasty.
gross shit.
Yeah. So it really is. But
Yeah.
what happened with it is that it went so hard when I had that issue with the soul, that injury to the soul, that went so hard into my psyche, my subconscious, that I could not process it. So it had no choice but to give it more mass. And what it did was it ruined my health.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been able to, I've been working on my health for like 30 years. And I have not been able to I get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. I'm always getting better, but that's the problem. I'm always getting better. What I'm not doing is going, I actually just want to go forward. I want to put that down. Now, I've had incidences with things that has happened, and it's just like, yeah, it's done. And but this has been fascinating because I'm going through it at the moment. So to me, it's super relevant. So if we can't compost it, if we can't put it into that process, reframe it in a way that this is not,
Mm.
I mean, ask this question because the question I'm asking myself is this the problem, or is this the way the problem gets solved?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So, because of all this health issue and everything that's gone into trying to rebuild myself, what I've got to is I've got to the bottom of the problem. And now I can move forward. So yeah, the composting is a really important point.
Because everything that is like every trigger that we have, like at the moment, the Olympics are going on. I don't know when this is going to come to air, but right now the Olympics are going on. And there's been a lot of divide, a lot of bullshit going on social media about the opening ceremony and also about a female boxer. And there's been a lot of anger. And everyone, not everybody, there's this whole trigger. Things are triggering the shit out of people. People blame the trigger. Don't ever blame the trigger. Don't ever blame the person that triggered you or the event that triggered you. It is like we are sitting in a car with the dashboard of all the lights. All the trigger is saying is like, there's something going on inside of you that needs to be looked at from the past.
Yeah, your fuel light came on.
Right? Exactly. Your light came on. Now, if we take off, so what'll happen is people do this all the time. They'll go, oh, I'm just going to block that person who did the trigger. Well, all you've done is you've just taken your dash off and you've pulled that light bulb out. So that trigger can't come up. It'll come up somewhere else though.
Yeah.
And I always feel we get a series of little nudges. We get the snowflake. For me, a trigger on Facebook is a snowflake. It's like, oh, look, Emma, something cute over there needs to look at. And then we get, oh, I'm just, block. And it's like, oh, well, we're going to have to give you a big fat freaking, ice, snowball to the face.
Yeah.
Then it's bam. It's like, oh, well, that person's pissing me off. I'm going to block them or I hate them or whatever it is. And then guess what happens? The fucking avalanche.
Yeah.
So always, this is what I say. Always look at everything. Triggers are just the dashboard of the light of the car going, you've got an issue here. Don't ignore it. Don't take out the light bulb. Have a look at what needs inside of me. I'm going to give you an example of something. Something really triggered me on Friday. And it's been about a certain couple that I know, and they're really triggering me. And now I know what it is because they've kind of been putting their head in the sand about things. And I went, hang on, if they keep triggering me, what is it about me that's triggering me? Where is my head in the sand? And then it dawned on me, my head is in the sand about me and my creativity. What part of my creativity? The way I've been dressing. It was as simple as that. Because I kind of been dressing like a 15-year-old boy lately. And what I mean is I've been wearing runners, jeans, and jumpers. And they look cute, but they're not really who I am. I like wearing sequins. Like,
That's right. Terry clothes.
and I haven't been wearing my cute gold boots and things like that. And I went, oh my God, this couple hasn't changed, but I'm not triggered anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Because I figured out what it is. I fell into it. I went, okay, so what do I have to do about it? So you got to think, feel, do, right? So I thought differently. I figured it out. I felt differently. And what did I do? I've been getting dressed. You know, and it was funny because I had nowhere to go on Friday, but I did. I put my tights, I put my cute boots on, I put a cute dress on, and I went, oh, there you go. I action towards my creativity for no particular reason and nowhere to go.
Is there anything better? Honestly, is there anything better than those moments when you just get dolled up and then don't go anywhere?
I love it.
It's an amazing experience.
It's the same today. So today, all my clients have been online. I've not seen a in-house client today, but I look cute. Like I look good. I've got the best gold boots on that you've ever seen. And if you saw my back, on the back of my jumper is all like bling and everything. It's fabulous. It's just fabulous, right? But it's just simply for me, my creativity. But that was all. Now I have been holding this trigger in, Jason will tell you, I've been holding this trigger in probably about 3 or 4 months. And it's so easy for me to blame them. Oh, look at them, look at that. And I went, hang on a minute. Why am I still being triggered? This is ridiculous. This is about me.
Yeah.
And that's when, well, what I may not be doing what they're doing in the same way, but I was definitely putting my head in the sand around something to do with me. And it's just another indicator that, Emma, look at yourself. Everything is about us. Everything is about us. And it's when we go, no, I don't do that. No. You're missing the opportunity of growth. And we don't want to. We don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to go, oh, fuck, yeah, this is me. But you do, because on the other side of that, oh, shit, it is me. Oh, I'm not doing this, or I am doing that, or oh my God, we're on the precipice of more up leveling and having a better life.
That little bit there, that realization when you do that, you said that's scraping the plate. That's where you get the plate and you scrape it into the compost. That's the moment where you go, okay, this is not something I need to hold on to. This is something I need to convert.
Exactly.
Alchemy.
Because we don't want to dump it in the bin.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're still holding it at the same frequency.
Yeah.
We don't want to hold. We want to transmute it. We want it to be because that's what everything is. Everything ebbs and flows. You can even have stagnant water where things are still moving and growing in it. Even what we think is stagnant is still moving. That's our trauma. The mashed potato still needs to move.
Yeah.
We need to transmute it into something. So this is my mashed potato podcast. I hope you're enjoying it. I had like 32 beautiful women on this call this morning, all about like our bodies and stuff. And as soon as I started talking about the mashed potato, I think when you call trauma mashed potato, you can kind of disassociate it from being your own trauma and start looking at it like mashed potato. And there was a question I asked, it was very powerful. I said, before we transmute it, how do you see yourself through the mashed potato? And some of the women were saying lonely, not good enough, blah, blah, blah. I went, now let's go put it on the pile. Let's go transmute it and put it on the compost. Now it's 3 months later and it's grown something. Some people were saying a tree, some people were saying a daisy bush. I went, now who are you through the eyes of the daisy bush? And they're like, I'm not lonely at all. I went, no, none of us are. Yeah. It's actually impossible. You can't be lonely. But if you're looking through the eyes of trauma, you can be all the kinds of things that are shitty. But
Yeah.
if you look at yourself through the eyes of transmutation and in a better way, you are all the good things. So there's my mashed potato story. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's your mashed potato story.
My mashed potato story. So before we sign off on this podcast, Jason, is there anything else you would like to talk about before we sign off on this little mashed potato story?
No, I actually think that's awesome because I know what we're going to do in our next episode.
Yeah.
It's gonna, I'm gonna take some of that. I'm gonna take some of that, and we're gonna look at it in different ways, a
Awesome.
different thing.
I love
So,
it.
yeah,
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please get in contact with us. We have some amazing offerings coming up. Jump onto soulalignedresults.com on our website. We have a Facebook page. We have all the things. Just email us, text us, whatever you got to do. We love to hear from you. If you want us to talk about something in particular, we would love to do that as well. So thank you, Jason. Thanks, everyone. We love you, and we'll see you in the next episode.
thanks everyone.